Our Game Week 2 Premier League predictions.
Ask about the points.
No, let me do
Ask about the points.
Let's get into the first game now.
The points
Fine,
there.
say the points then.
5 points. Goldbridge got 6 points. I got 14 points. I am cooking, Theo.
Look, I say this every week, but this is my week. Game Week 2, I know I'm going to get the most points. I'm going to get more than you guys. Get down in the comments and join us in your predictions. 3 points if you get it right. 4 if you predict 4 or more goals. 1 point if you get win, draw, loss. You know the rules. Now the guest today.
Oh my goodness, because you can't beat Goldbridge, Theo.
You can't beat Goldbridge. We've kept it Manchester United though, and he's an actual player.
Ooh.
In the academy, and he's the son of Wayne Rooney. Let's welcome on
Rooney.
What a guy.
How do you do this,
He's a
Theo?
legend.
How
Now,
do you know these people?
Let's go straight over to him.
Hi, I'm Kai Rooney. I play for Manchester United under 14s, and let's get these predictions done.
Kai Rooney, how do you manage this stuff, honestly?
Dad, before we get into the first game, I have asked him a very important question.
Let's try and hit 12k likes if you think Bogdan's a book.
I love that, mate.
The first game is Nottingham Forest against Sheffield United, 2 teams who are trying to avoid the drop this season, and they haven't played in the Premier League since 1993. Now, Nottingham Forest last season, Theo, 30 points of the 38 were at home, only 8 points away from home. So this is one of those must-win games. But Sheffield United, Theo, this is interesting. 25 games in the Premier League without a draw.
Jeez, that's mad. Do you think they could even pick up a point here?
I don't actually, Theo.
Why?
I think Nottingham Forest were pretty good. Once Elanga came on against Arsenal, they improved. I think Forest will win this by more than a goal.
Yeah, both teams started on losses. Forest to Arsenal, Sheffield United to Palace. I thought Forest gave Arsenal a few problems in the latter stages of the match, and obviously they always play decent at home. They had a great home run at the end of last season, so I'm going to go for a 1-0 Forest win.
But who caught your eye against Arsenal?
Elanga.
Really?
When he came on, Theo, it was only for a few minutes, but he made the difference. I want to see him have 90 minutes, and I reckon Forest win this one 2-0.
I agree that Forest are going to win, but it's going to be lower scoring. Forest 1, Sheffield United 0, and Elanga will assist Taiwo Awoniyi with the goal.
Luton Town against Burnley. It's the return of football to Kenilworth Road, Theo, and I can't wait for the...
Luton Town, match suspended. Kenilworth Road is not ready for the Premier League.
You had one job to do, lads.
I feel like slow sports news, honestly. Just to get that information now. I was about to predict Luton to win 5-0. I guess we'll have to wait till next week. What's the next match?
Liverpool against AFC Bournemouth. Both sides started the season with 1-1 draws, didn't they? But Liverpool have got to be strong favourites. Remember last season, Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0, and they only lost 1 game at home all season. Will this be a crapshoot?
Well, since that Bournemouth day, it was Gary O'Neill, and now they've got a new manager, which Idriola people are very excited by, but after that 1-1 draw against West Ham, his tactics will take time. Let's talk about Liverpool. Big problem with the ownership. A lot of people asking questions about FSG after they've mixed out on so many summer transfer targets. Lavia, Caicedo, the list goes on. Dad, what's your comments?
Well, don't overpay for players, Theo. Caicedo was too expensive, and they were right to pull away from that, to be quite honest.
Do you feel bad for Jurgen Klopp that the board are not giving him more backing?
I do to some extent, Theo. I don't think Liverpool are in the title race. I mean, that is a big statement. I think it's between Arsenal and Man City this season and nobody else.
Now, I heard you once scored 4 against Liverpool, but you lost that game.
Yeah, we lost 5-4.
Could be much more,
so it was like late stages of the match, and we got a penalty, and I wanted to take it, but my teammate didn't let me take it, and then to make it 5-4, and then we missed it. I'm gonna go for a 4-1 win for Liverpool and Solanke to score for Bournemouth.
Well, let's talk about what's within their squad. They've got Thiago and Bajcetic back, which can cover that DM role, at least for the last few weeks. But for Bournemouth at home, they don't need to be worrying. I know that whatever midfield that they go with, they're going to have more of the ball, they're going to be attacking, and that's based off the last head-to-head.
What about Dominic Solanke, back to his former club?
It's too tough. I don't think they'll have much of the ball. I don't think he'll get any chances. I'm going to go no goals for Bournemouth, nothing for Dommy.
Wow. You know, I nearly went 2-0 Liverpool, but I'm upping it 3-0 Liverpool. Wolverhampton Wanderers against Brighton and Hove Albion, 2 teams with differing objectives this season, Theo. Now start with Wolverhampton Wanderers. I thought they were all right against Man United, created lots of chances. Cunha nearly got his debut goal. He was inches wide. What do you think about this game?
Well, it was the same old problem, not scoring goals. 0. You can have an XG as high as you like, but if there's no one there to bang it in, that's the issue. When they bring the game back home, that's where they got most of their wins last season, but they're playing Brighton. Brighton looked incredible against Luton Town. All the players can't stop scoring. João Pedro, Mitoma, Adringa, Ferguson, they all scored on game week 1. De Zerbi's got them playing almost like a top 4 team, and it's crazy to think that the Moises Caicedo deal just got done away from them, and McAllister, which for both of them combined, they've got about £150 million spare. So Brighton, one of the most well-run football clubs. But Dad, let's focus on game week 2. Who's winning this game?
I feel like Brighton will still be too strong for them, because I feel like Wolves were just trying to put on a show for the new manager to prove themselves to him. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Brighton win. Knowing they're away, but again, Molineux isn't the toughest of grounds to go to, so yeah, I'm going to stick with a 3-1 win.
You know what? I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
Yeah, I'm also going to go Wolves 1, Brighton 2. So we agree. I think Neto will score, but I just have a feeling João Pedro is going to keep up this momentum and score again.
Fulham against Brentford. This is the first of 3 London derbies this weekend,
Mad.
Theo. And starting with Fulham, of course, they won their opening game, didn't they, Theo? But how's this going to go without Mitrovic?
Well, Al Hilal just made a last-ditch attempt, €50 million bid to bring him over to Saudi Arabia. I think his head's going to be turning that way. He's still not had game time. I think he might have been on the bench for the first match. I don't really see him featuring. I can see Raul Jimenez being the main man for them up top. Then there's the other doubt, Tosin Adarabioyo, an excellent centre-back, so good on the ball and was so solid last year. That's why he's got other Premier League clubs calling. It's linked that he's trying to go to Tottenham, and Heung-min Son's agent is pushing that deal.
I feel like it's going to be a fairly even match, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
If you look at Brentford's recent form against Fulham, especially at Craven Cottage, it's very, very good. I think they've only lost 2 of the last 16 at the Cottage. And Brentford in London derbies recently have been excellent. So
Yes.
I can't see Fulham winning this. I think Brentford have the better team of these 2 teams. I think they'll finish higher than them in the league.
Yeah.
But because it's at Fulham, I'm going to go 1-1.
I disagree. Fulham 1, Brentford 2, Wissa last-minute winner.
Tottenham Hotspur against Manchester United. This is one of the most intriguing fixtures
Yes.
of the weekend, and partly because Harry Kane's gone, and partly because this is a bogey team for Spurs, isn't it? Man United, I think, have only lost 1 of the last 9 against the Spurs.
Great game, but no number 9s. Yeah.
That's true.
Hoyland's out and Tottenham have lost Kane, so how many goals are we really going to see? Or will this be a cagey encounter? What do you feel?
I don't know, Theo, but what I do know is that Man United have never lost at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Serious?
Drawn 2 and won 2.
I think it's a new era for Tottenham. Ange plays a lot more attacking football. He plays a high line. He gets up the pitch, very different to what they used to with Conte last year. And I think this will be goals galore. I'm going to go for 4 goals. Tottenham will score twice. Some will score a penalty with a mistake from Onana, because that geezer's lost the plot. 2-2. It's going to be goal crazy. Going to watch it. We have to watch this one.
Obviously, Man United played quite poor against Wolves. I know they've been doing some extra work. Obviously, Ten Hag's quite not happy with them. So I feel like they're going to bounce back and get a 2-1 win. Rashford with the winner.
I'm not sure about Man United yet. I think these are 2 good teams, but they're not great teams. I nearly went 2-2, but I went 1-1. Manchester City against Newcastle United. It's the league champions against the early league leaders, Theo. Now, this is a really interesting one, because when you look at the history books, Theo, this is one of the most one-sided encounters in the history of the Premier League. Man City won 25, drawn 5, lost 1 of the last 31 games. Man City absolutely batter Newcastle historically, but Newcastle now are very different, aren't
They're
they?
back, and the odds have never been closer coming into this match, because the North East boys have strengthened. They put 5 past Villa. You've got Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, Tonali. The list goes on. They're all on fire. Isaac, look how he destroyed them.
Man City last season at home only dropped 5 points, 1 draw, 1 defeat. But Newcastle only lost 3 on the road. This could be one of the toughest tests for Man City this season.
City are currently in Greece for the Super Cup final against Sevilla. Then on Saturday night, they have to go back to the Etihad, and they're playing a top 4 team now. Newcastle is solid. So do you think the Geordies can nick this goal?
I think they'll get a result. I don't think they'll win. Obviously, last season, early on in the season as well, it was a 3-3 draw. It was a close game. Obviously, very energetic, 2 great teams. And I feel like we're going to get the same energy again. So I've gone for a 2-2 draw. Haaland and Isak to get some of the goals.
The Geordies will be waiting, and after how they did against Aston Villa, I'm going to back them to an extent where they're not going to lose at Etihad against City. City away, on paper, the hardest fixture of the year, but I'm backing them to a 2-2 draw. People will be shocked in the comments, but trust me, they will come out there and be ready.
I've gone for Man City 2, Newcastle United 1. I think it'll be close.
But one thing I can expect is Pep rotation to the maximus. If you have Man City players in FPL, which we all have 1 or 2, be very careful. Look out for the news, because there might be some big change arounds.
Over to the Sunday fixtures now with Aston Villa against Everton, two teams who lost last game week, Theo. This is a chance for Aston Villa to move off the bottom of the table. What's going to happen here, Theo?
Unai Emery is the one manager who I'd back to go out there and just smash them 3-0. Like after losing 5-1, just bring it back to Villa Park and hammer them. But Everton, Sean Dyche will be screaming at his players after getting over 3 XG, not scoring. Neil Maupai's on a striker drought. Do you think he's going to end that? Will he even play?
I don't know, Theo, but what I do know is they're missing DCL.
They are, but he played in a training match midweek against Manchester United, and he played a full 90 minutes.
Okay.
But I have a funny feeling he's going to play 90 minutes in this game.
Obviously, my whole dad's side of the family support Everton, and I was born around that area. So I've just supported them my whole life, and I go to a few games. I like going to some of the games with my cousins. And yeah, it's just a great atmosphere when I'm there. Obviously, both teams coming off the back of a loss. So I've gone pretty standard there. I've gone for a 1-1 draw.
I think Aston Villa are favourites. Ollie Watkins looks good again. He's linking up with Diaby well. I think both of them will score. Watkins with 1, Diaby with 1. Everton will get a goal through DCL. 2-1 win to Aston Villa. What about you?
And I agree with you, Theo. I think it's going to be a narrow victory, 2-1. West Ham United against Chelsea. It's a tasty London derby, isn't it, Theo, between the champions of Europe and Chelsea.
Another London rivalry matchup, but one that people have a lot of eyes on because of how many debutants there are.
Yeah.
On West Ham's side, you've got Edson Alvarez shifting into the midfield, but not the only midfield to add to the team. The golfer, James Ward-Prowse, best set-piece taker in the world, so be careful if a free kick arrives to West Ham. Then we've got Chelsea, Caicedo, Lavia. Both of them will probably slide straight into that midfield. Chelsea are currently a silent lion, waiting to initiate its kill. It's waiting for the prey, and once they get close enough, they are going to attack, and they are going to not only attack, it's going to be mass destruction. This lion will be so strong, it will take out most Premier League clubs, and it's only moments away from that. Whether it'll happen against West Ham or next week against Luton Town, they are going to destroy clubs, and it might happen in this game.
I
they
disagree.
Are very strong. They've got Elise might even play, Dad, the new signing.
Using that metaphor, Chelsea are a sleeping lion, maybe even a dying lion. It's not happening yet, Theo. They're not going to start battering teams. It ain't going to happen. This has got 1-1 draw written all over it, and that's my prediction.
I disagree. I'm going to go West Ham 1, Chelsea 2.
Obviously, Chelsea have improved a lot. I've put them at 4th. I think they're going to get top 4 this season. Obviously, a lot of new great signings in. Yeah, I've gone for a 3-1 Chelsea win with Jackson to get an early goal.
And finally, another London derby. Crystal Palace against Arsenal. It's South London against North London. Actually, Arsenal used to be in South London, in Woolwich, but then they moved quite a long time ago. But Crystal Palace got off to winning ways. Both clubs did. And I thought Crystal Palace were excellent, Theo,
I'm worried about Palace,
throughout the team.
Yeah, they were great against Sheffield United, but they are the worst team in the Premier League by far. And now they don't have Elise, they don't have Zaha. I know they both didn't play both of those players against Sheffield United, but they're big losses from what they had last year.
I reckon this will be close. I reckon there'll be 1 goal in it. I'm going Crystal Palace 1, Arsenal 2.
Okay, 1 goal in it, but he's still backed an Arsenal win. I just think Martinelli, he's already scored against Palace last year. He's coming up against Nathaniel Klein as a fullback. That's going to be mass destruction. I'll tell you that right now. Crystal Palace 0, Arsenal 2. And I've got Eze on FPL, which I'll start as well. It wouldn't surprise me if something goes another way. But over to Kai Rooney.
For Palace and Arsenal, obviously Arsenal will be too strong for them. I've gone for a 3-0 win, knowing that Elise, Zaha and lots of players have gone from Palace, so yeah, it's gonna be a whitewash.
Wow, Theo, honestly, I'm still speechless. Kai Rooney on our predictions. How do we go from there?
I know, it's hard to top that, but all the best to him at Manchester United Academy. I can't wait to seeing him filling his dad boots. He's a great lad, great guy to have on the channel, and please go follow him on Instagram.
And you know what? We're just a couple of mugs. Get in the comments with your score predictions. See if you can beat us. You beat him because he's rubbish.
What?
But can you beat Thogden?
And don't forget to hit the like target that Kai Rooney set. Do him a big one and smash it. It's completely free to do so. It takes a second of your time. You know what else takes a second? Saying goodbye.
See ya.